Okay, everybody. Well, it's Professor Hall here, and that's wraps us up for this semester. It has been absolutely delightful, and I so enjoyed reading everyone's final essays, the hero archetype essay and the final narrative essay. And I wanted to just cover a couple things, touch base on a few things, and then I'll sign off for the semester. First, your grades are posted in your grade center, and you will see those. I spent a long time looking at everybody's grade, going back over your work, starting from where you started in this course to where you ended in the last two essays. And of course, we all know that everything is weighted, but it is also considered whenever I determine final grades. And those final grades are not negotiable. Some of you turned in Cybercafe posts at the last minute. Cybercafe posts were supposed to be posted early so that your other Cybercafe members could respond to your posts. Going in at the last minute and throwing something up in a post is insulting to the other members of your group. Let me show you one example. The post for discuss your final exam with your Cybercafe group. That was supposed to be started on Monday of week 2, months ago. Several of you flew in at the last minute and posted something last week or even some this week. What is your Cybercafe group supposed to get from that? The idea was to post information and get feedback from your group members. When you fly in at the last minute, you weren't there all of the months of the semester. You weren't there to give feedback to your fellow students. You flew in at the last minute and threw in some content and expected full credit for that. So please do not ask me anything about your grades in that Cybercafe post if you received a negative grade. Back to the pretty picture. All of your content for each of your submissions in the course are now the property of Valley College and the LACCD district. And those that body of work that you did is something that I hope you are proud of, and I hope that you feel really good about yourself. At the end of the day, regardless of what your letter grade shows in your grade center, the thing I want you to ask yourself as you complete your other essays and whatever you're doing in your other courses is, what did you learn? Actually, what did you learn? For many of you, I think you proved to yourself on a very pleasant, what I consider to be a pleasant learning curve, that you are brilliant beyond anything you ever thought possible. I would suspect that many of you started this semester thinking, I can't imagine ever writing a detailed argument essay. I don't even know what that means. I can't even imagine doing that, or completing an outline, or writing a proposal, or creating a narrative story that demonstrates all of the concepts that I learned throughout the semester. And I hope that my goal is for you to end the semester looking back at what you've accomplished and thinking, oh my gosh, I worked so hard. Not all of you are great typists, but you found a way to plunk the keys and to get the essay completed. Not all of you are going to be literary scholars, but you managed to write very articulate, formal content. And what I want to mention to you as you move forward are two things. First, I am teaching English 103 for this winter term. This is a very fast course, but you won't have to have the learning curve of remembering how to add a word count or where to find an assignment that's due or anything else, because 103 is built exactly like 102. The assignments for 103 are my favorites, and then the 103, of course, is critical thinking. 103 is proofs and evidence and all those things that you already know about because you wrote the hero essay. And because you wrote the hero essay, if you did well on that essay, or even if you made a B or a C on that essay, you learned how to write an argument essay. Now we just take that up one level, and the assignments have a number of choices, and some are creative choices and some are more logical, scientific-based choices. And I think it's a very enjoyable course. Students do very well in that. And again, in that course, the final essay is a narrative story that demonstrates an understanding of all of those concepts that we will be learning. Anyway, that course is English 103. The section number is the course number is V07, and the section number is 12795. And I believe that the enrollment for that will be coming up fairly soon. Again, many people, I hear students say when I go over to campus all the time, they say, oh, I already took 101. I already took 102. To which I say, but did you learn anything? Do you know how to write an essay? Having taken those classes, are you now prepared to go to a university level course and write the essays that are going to be expected at a university level? Let me tell you something fun. Last week, I got a lovely email from a professor over at UCLA, and she said she couldn't believe these two students that she had and how beautifully they wrote and how well their papers were organized. And they told her that they were students of mine. And I felt very good about that, because those students, not only did they take the course, not only did they make a good grade, but they learned something. They learned how to write formal essays. Now, across the board in this course, every single person who took this course, there's one little area that everyone needs to work on, and that is paragraph development. Somehow, some way throughout life, that ability to write an organized paragraph seems to have missed the boat. And I had some information on this website in this course, and I directed you to YouTube tutorials from other professors in case their explanation worked better. But across the board, I saw this problem. Now, when it's just you and the four walls and you by yourself, you can evaluate whether or not what I just said applies to you. If you don't think it applies to you, that's fine. But if you realize that you have a bit of a problem with paragraph development and writing concise paragraphs where everything relates to a topic sentence, now you know what you need to work on going forward. Everybody has something to work on going forward. I know my thing that I constantly work on, and I've worked on for years, is a conclusion. I have trouble with conclusions, and I've mastered most of it, but it still is a problem area for me, and so I know I need to devote extra time to it, and I think I do a pretty good job. But that's the one thing area that I like to work on. And in my English 103 course, I have an assignment offered, and it's a choice, but I take you on a step-by-step process of me writing that essay. So you will see in tutorials me actually doing the assignment myself. Every time I put in a new assignment, I like to do it myself just to see how it works. So as you move forward, I want you to think about the things that you've learned, and I want you to evaluate the things you wish you knew a little bit better. And then you can make a decision about what you want to do going forward. English is the one course that students need specifically in all disciplines at a higher education level. That's my opinion. I believe it's true. You can disagree with me and you can prove me wrong, but I believe that the ability to articulate and write and be well spoken, well read, and well written is a very important quality. As I say, I know students who can speak 5 languages and can't write any of them. And I only speak one language, and I wish I could learn to speak another. And I envy people who can speak more than one language. I think it's just incredibly fascinating and wonderful. I've not been able to master that very well, and I'd like to work on that going forward. I also like to work on my mathematics skills because I have got so much baggage when it comes to math, I can't even begin to tell you. So that's something that I like to work on. And when you evaluate how you did in this course, what you want to do going forward, I want you to think about that. The last thing I want to mention to you is I also want you to think about, what does your resume look like when you graduate from college? You think, well, I don't have a resume, I have a part-time job. No, you have a resume from school. In addition to your transcript, in your one-page cover letter that you will be writing for admission to a university, you will cover all of the things that you bring to that university. Your transcript will show what courses you took. In my opinion, and again, you can disagree with me, but in my opinion, if you present to a university a transcript that shows that you took 3 English courses at a community college, that is impressive. That's my opinion. Those students who take more than one required English course show a dedication to literacy and a dedication to wanting to express themselves in higher academic rhetorical fashion. That's my opinion, kiddos. Take it or leave it. So anyway, I'm very proud of you. I know that I believe that you had the integrity to do your own work. I followed you as you went throughout the semester, and I can see, even though I don't get to see you face to face, I can see how your brains work, and I was able to see that from the colors exercise. So I know you think, gosh, how could she know that much from just that one exercise? Because it's a gift, because I know how to do that, because whenever I see how your creative brain works with colors and how you come up with words, I can chart your progress throughout the semester. And I believe that you did your own work, and I believe that if the university were to scan your work, they would see that to be true. Anyway, that concludes this semester. Everything is listed in your grade center. I wish you the very best of luck. I wish you all the happiest of holidays. If you travel, please be safe. And if you are excited about taking English 103, it's a wonderful opportunity. I teach it fast and furious, but it's very doable, and it's doable mainly because you don't have the learning curve about how the program works. So you won't log into the course and say, where is it? I can't find it. I can't find it. One thing that everyone needed to improve upon was the Cybercafe, and that is something that was a sticking point for me, because I include so few discussion boards. I don't have those discussion boards where you just have to post something, and it's just, I don't like them either. And that's why I only included a few, but they were so important. And that Cybercafe group is so important as a resource. And when you did not go in there and post, when you did not share with the students in your group, you cheated them of your brilliance. And I don't like it. And I think the world of you, and I think it would have benefited you so much to have made use of that Cybercafe. When you take my English 103 class, that's right, you'll also have a Cybercafe group there, and this time you will know exactly what to do. That concludes this tutorial. That concludes this semester. It's been wonderful. You are geniuses. I believe in your intelligence, and I believe in your ability to embrace a learning curve. And that's all from me. Y'all have a good time. Bye-bye.